We are here now diving into Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And again, we were mentioning before the excitement for that fit with Kansas City. And let's get into why. Now, people are going to knock him for his height, player measuring in closer to 5'7". But to me, it's height weight ratio, not just pure height. He's almost 210 pounds. And then when you look at his explosion numbers, both vertical and broad jump, this is not a thin a player. This is a player that has muscle mass and certainly has some explosive and dynamic qualities, and wanted to focus on him in two areas here that I think immediately translate to Kansas City. One being the passing game. So we're going to see a lot of that. And the other one is the ability to run in the A-gaps. And again, when you talk about a player of this size and a player that people are talking about as a passing game weapon, and clearly he is, and we'll talk about that, one of the things that comes up is an inability to run inside. Right. And so that's typically where people's mind go when they think about a passing game weapon. You don't have that here. You have a player that can work in both areas, and we're going to get an opportunity to dive into why. All right, so let's look at a run play here to begin, and we're going to take this to the end copy, but you're going to see him going in the pile here. And again, the wide copy for runs is never the best angle, but you do see the safety stepping in for conflict and him getting off of that and obviously bringing this thing outside and picking up a huge chunk of yardage. But let's bring this thing back and just talk about what we have here. So he understands this run concept as they're flowing. He's reading these guys over here to figure out what they're going to do, because right now this gap is uncovered, right? Defensively, they're not in that with presence. And so what we see him do is press. He's reading 10. And then he's going to commit to going downhill rather than trying to bounce this thing and staying flat. He's going to start gaining yards by coming downhill. And now this is the stuff when it comes to feel that you just can't coach. So he has been pressing this direction. He's decided to bring it vertical. And now we have two defenders here coming in that should stop him right where he's at. And he's able to instinctually feel that, boom, bounce off laterally. And just look at the distance that he gains. Bring back slowly. So he's here. He's going to end up over here in basically a step. Now he's over here. And when his feet hit the ground, he's able to accelerate again. And we're off and gaining ground. I mean, these are just some really unique things. So the interior processing, the feel that he has, the decision-making to gain ground, boom, the instincts, the athletic ability to get off, and acceleration. Man, a lot to like on that one. This is not a player that you're going to say is just a perimeter threat. You can do a lot more with him than just that. So again, we're going to see some interior runs, the wide angle. Just wanted to show you some of the matchups in the spacing, because sometimes when you get to that end copy, you kind of lose a feel for where they're at in relationship to gaining ground. But you can see him here, north and south, gaining ground. And now we have a defender with significant outside leverage, right? Coming outside in. There's no way he should be able to get outside of him. Some people are going to say, hey, you might as well turn this up. He's clearly trusting his abilities here in order to get off of that. And again, through that contact, all over him, that stiff arm, low center of gravity, that contact balance to take that thing outside. So again, similar run concept, but they have a different front here for Ole Miss. So he's going to start with a similar aiming point, but right away they come and they take these gaps away. So he's going to change, and he's going to come downhill way faster on this one. So we're coming down, watching for number one. Is number one going to get blocked? And he feels it. See how that patience as he's climbing, he's hugging up in behind these guys. And for number one here, this defender in the circle, you can't even see the running back at this point. And then he's going to pop out once his lineman's able to get back up off the ground and on top of number one, and he's free and clear. And then again, here's him on the corner, come into contact, boom, hit him with that stiff arm, keep working outside, keep your legs churning, turn the corner, and accelerate to get that first down. So again, he has that interior run ability and clearly the perimeter threat that everybody is excited about. Again, putting this guy in Kansas City is almost unfair for what they're going to be able to do. So this is the Alabama game. All right. So again, the big rival here. We have always known about Alabama for being so big and so physical in the front. And here we go again, him popping out. And let's see what happens on this one. So again, he's going to understand the bubble here and where he's at. We have one on each side here. That's obviously where the linebackers are responsible. And so he's going to have to feel his blocking to show that patience and that understanding. Watch how his blocking works against this front, and then obviously put him in position to be successful. So they change him to the other side of the formation. All right, so now be looking here with this as the fallback. And we do have this sniffer who can be a fold-in player, which is what we're going to see here. So again, the ability to feel this block, understand the concept here, and he knows that they're getting this 2-on-1 and they're responsible for this backer. He understands that this guy should be sealed off. We're folding in here, and so you're going to watch him stay really tight to this double and then break this thing vertical. And it's very impressive to see, again, this discipline on interior run. And when he feels it, boom, he accelerates, and we're north and south, and we're out here on the safety. And he get to his edge, never gets hit clean. All right, again, people are going to talk about his weight. I've heard it from a number of people. I understand, but he doesn't take clean hits. He's always off on an arm tackle. And again, a lot of times out here on these third-level defenders who are bringing similar frames to him, it's not like he's getting hit by 300-pounders on a consistent basis. And again, that ability to protect yourself from conflict is so excellent. So this is a little, it may be a choice route or a Texas route. It depends on if it's predetermined or if he's reading off of this. Either way, his initial stem is going to force this linebacker out. It's opening up this interior place for him. And this is just significant route running ability. All right. To be able to stick that right foot in the ground, sells it outside with his stem. Linebacker thinks he's going to the flat, puts his foot in the ground. Boom. He's inside. Catch it on the run. Make one miss. Split two is always the rule. And again, just fantastic work here. So we're going to see this initial departure angle. He's going to widen out here. We already saw him put his right foot down. Now he's back inside. All right, ball's on his back hip. Boom. He can catch this thing in stride on the move. Excellent. And now he's off to the races. Make this one miss. I mean, I know people are talking about, well, he didn't run a 4.4. You know, how are you going to take a guy? That was pretty damn fast right there. All right. I don't think there's a whole lot to complain about from that standpoint. So now we're into the Georgia game. I believe this is the conference championship game. So now, again, we're looking at these matchups and this ability. Can we get him on a linebacker and do we feel good? These are Georgia linebackers. These are guys that were 4- and 5-star recruits. And again, you're going to see this entry angle out. All right, widening him. And then he's able to break, boom, inside of that. And he waits on him. See, he gets right up on his toes, forces him to commit, and boom, comes right off of that. And again, catch, and oh my goodness, the space here to run. Smart, gets himself to the boundary in this situation, and they're able to stop the clock and move forward. So again, we're going to see him out here taking this initial angle, widen the backer, creating himself a window. This is just high-level route running. Stick his foot in the ground, boom, he's off to the races. This ball's out in his front hip, and he's able to track and get himself in a great position. So a weapon for sure in the passing game. Just, again, it's scary to think about what this is going to be for Kansas City. So, again, we're going to come off the run action here. All right. He's going to move out here on this flat route, and this is just a check down situation, right? Absolutely. This isn't high-level route running, but now it's what happens when you're out here. Can you convert? Can you turn this into something? Ball's good in terms of his upfield shoulders, immediately able to transition. So kudos to the #1 overall pick, Burrow, on that one. But right here, can you make a man miss in space? And he can then accelerate and get himself out here. All right, and this is a long down and distance. You're seeing the sticks up here, right? The end of this play. Here's the first down marker. This is not, this is not what you want to do in that long distance situation, is check down, because there's not a high probability of conversion here. Boom, he makes this guy miss, accelerates out there, dragging this defender for contact, and we're within 1.5 yards of picking up this first down. So again, he's going to go out here on the flat or the wide. Boom, make this guy miss. I mean, he puts that foot in the ground and he gains ground. He's got such lateral agility and change of direction, and then that acceleration, that contact balance. I mean, this guy's riding him for 5 yards, and look at him still run. This is not a weak player. This is not a small player. He just happens to be short. All right, and he takes this thing all the way almost for that first down. So really, really impressive stuff. Again, continuing here in this Georgia game in a pistol set. We're going to show that run action. And this is one of those things, just wanted to highlight him selling this. He gets in the body posture. He puts his hands in the right position. All right. So now everybody thinks that this thing's coming off, the linebacker's zone away, and he's by himself. And again, what can you do to create down here? And in this case, the Georgia defender keeps good inside leverage. He's not going to let him cross his face. But he gets him broken down. He feels that this guy's out of balance, and then, boom, converts that stiff arm. And watch him gain ground from conflict. Boom, boom, boom. Another 4 yards through that, and he's still up. They still can't take him down, even into the bench. I mean, this guy's ability to keep himself up is really, really special. He was a running back I was very excited about regardless of his fit. But, I mean, again, I think it's scary to think about what he's going to do when you put him in that Kansas City offense. And that 32, I know people are going to talk about the first round, but it also gives him the option for the 5th-year option in his contract, which can keep him at a reasonable rate for a 5th year without having to lock him into a long-term deal after that. So, again, I think that's smart move on their part to get this asset there. So, again, this is just really, really simple route running, but it's how much he's able to sink his hips and come out of that and not float too far upfield. All right, he's got an inside leverage defender. He feels that, boom, he's out right now. And then this right here is where it gets really special. All right, he's driven right here on the 50-yard line. Boom, he's upfield. He stops, and he gets hit. He should be taken out of bounds. He should be done. Should be all over. But no, he goes through that contact, keeps his feet in bounds, and now we have the first down and more, way more. Just unreal. Again, when you have a player with this kind of contact balance, these are the nuanced things that are really special because this is way beyond scheme. This is way beyond scheme. Right here, boom, he gets taken out of any other running back. You get taken out of bounds right here, you're done. But he gets that conflict. Look at him keep those toes in bounds. Right on the sideline, fight strong, upfield, make another guy miss, split 2, finish forward. I mean, huge, huge play for them in this situation. Again, really, really special. And again, we're going to see them here or see him here with this interior run play. So again, we have the uncovered guard here. So this is going to be play side, but he's got to feel this. He's got to feel if this guy floats over. He's got to feel how hard he comes down. Is there going to be some sort of stunt here? He's got to read all this front, all this blocking to determine where the best fit is. All right, it ends up being where Clemson stays pretty static, which is fine. So he presses it right to the inside hip of the tackle. All right, he's taking it right on a good path here. And then once he feels that right guard, take 19 and turn him out, boom, we're hitting it. Keep our pads down and punching right through there. So again, don't have a problem with A and B gap runs from his perspective. Really something else from this guy. So let's talk about what that means in terms of going over to Kansas City. So we're going to see Damian Williams here used in pretty similar situations. All right, so we want to see him with some run plays and some pass plays. So here we are in the screen game. Kansas City does this so well. You're going to see these 3 blockers out here with all this space. All right, so the ball's on him. All right, he turns upfield. He feels that blocking, so well executed, and works to punch himself through. Again, you can just picture Clyde Edwards-Helaire in a similar situation. So let's feel this from the end copy. All right, he sells that chip. He sells it, but doesn't actually make a lot of contact. He turns himself back in, positions himself for the catch. Again, look at that blocking out ahead of it. That's fantastic. Imagine giving that blocking to CEH. Split 2. Make 1 miss. And if it wasn't for a shoestring tackle, he'd still be running. All right, so now we're sitting here with the Houston game. And again, just wanted to look at some similar situations and what Kansas City's already doing. So let's feel that screen game out. Delayed here, working inside, working inside. All right, floats out, catch the ball, turn upfield. Now here's the difference. All right, this is not to diminish Damian. He's been a fantastic player for them, but we saw how dynamic the cuts were from CEH, and we're just not seeing that here. It takes him a while to gather himself, takes him a while to accelerate. He fights back in, and he gets good yardage. There's no problem with the play here, but we're going to have a better outcome with Clyde Edwards-Helaire in this scenario. I'm convinced of it. So again, feels this thing out. Good catch, turns upfield, makes the 1 miss. All right, feels the overflow and works himself up in there. But I think you're going to have something really, really special on the way. And then just looking here in the Super Bowl, again, pressure situations, always interesting to compare what they do here. Here's that run action. Again, we saw very similar stuff from LSU. He runs, he leaks. And then again, what are you in the open field? And again, here again is the difference. He stops. He makes this man miss. It's a good play. But it takes him a while to get his feet back underneath him, and he's not that explosive moving from there. So he does fight to the sticks, but there's just a little bit extra, all right, in what they're bringing in now, and can't wait to see that extra dynamic for them in this passing attack. So we'll see this. Again, he goes out wide. We're going to see the ball go that way. Check down. Again, he's got to pull it up off of his waist. Good job by him there. Boom, make one miss, and then plant and go. Again, a fine contributor. There's absolutely nothing wrong to his game, but don't necessarily see those dynamic qualities just yet. And again, I think they're going to get their hands on that. And then we're just going to see here a simple check down again. And I want to see a similar sideline scenario. Right? We just saw that against Clemson. So he's getting pinned against the sideline, and he does a good job. He does a good job. And so, again, there's going to be very similar plays here that Kansas City's going to put Clyde Edwards-Helaire in, and I just think he's going to bring a little bit extra to the game here than we saw from Damian Williams. It's going to be really exciting for Kansas City. Leaks out, gets the chip that time. Mahomes dishes it over, and then work himself off that. Really good stuff. So, again, very excited about what this fit's going to be like for Kansas City.